Hello everyone, my name is Joe Stanko and I'm the Equine Extension Associate for the Eastern Region of Pennsylvania's 4-H Horse Program. I'd like to welcome you all to the second video in our series highlighting the 4-H Equine Knowledge Contests. In this video, we will be focusing on our horse judging contest. We will be reviewing contest eligibility and rules, judging reasons and resources, tips on how to prepare a team. We will also be offering future videos with more details on judging halter, performance classes, and tips on preparing oral reasons. Again, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you all that our PA4H Equine Knowledge Contests are no longer going to be offered within our State Achievement Days program, but this year we will be offering individual contest days for horse, bull, and hippology both on May 11th and horse judging on June 14th. So horse judging is a program that teaches youth to evaluate horses and horse performances. Members will learn about the correct breed conformation and ideal performances in a variety of different events. This is a competitive event designed to develop and test members' ability to gain a clear understanding of breed and class standard, recognize the desirable and undesirable traits of a horse. In a horse judging contest, the contestants are being evaluated on how well they place a class of horses against the official. Each class will consist of 4 horses, and the placing is determined by a panel of official judges. Members will learn how to make logical decisions quickly and use sound reasoning to explain those decisions. And they will maintain a positive view of comparing horses and effectively communicate and defend how they place a class. Some life skills members will gain by being on a horse judging team will include learning how to objectively evaluate horses and horse performances when compared against the ideal, gain quick decision-making skills, organize their thoughts in detail, improve their oral communication skills, learn the value of good sportsmanship, develop lasting relationships with team members who share a common interest, and gain confidence. Some specifics about our horse judging contest. Contestants on a junior team must be 4-H age 10 to 13, and our senior team members range from ages 14 to 18. Teams are comprised of 3 to 4 members. They can be from either the same county or multi-county team. They can also enter our contest just as individuals. Eligibility for our 4-H horse judging contest must be that they are currently enrolled in a 4-H horse project or a horseless project, and they must not have previously participated in the Eastern or Western National 4-H horse judging contest, or officially a post-secondary competitive event in horse judging, such as a collegiate team. In a horse judging contest, each class and each set of reasons have a value of 50 points. When 4 contestants are entered as a team, the 3 highest overall scores will be used. Contestants are evaluated on how well their placings match the official placings. Our 4-H horse judging contest has a total of 6 classes. In the halter division, mares, geldings, or stallions are all eligible, and they are all judged of sound, limb, eye, wind, and mouth. In our performance division, rail classes such as Western Pleasure, Hunter Under Saddle, and pattern classes, horsemanship, equitation, Western riding, reining, trail, and over fences classes, Hunter Hack, they are all to be judged as seen. Unsoundness will be penalized accordingly, and all tack and attire are considered legal. Reasons are given after all classes have been placed, and contestants may use notes when preparing, but not when giving oral reasons. They must be given by memory. Seniors will give 2 to 4 sets of oral reasons on halter and or performance. Juniors will give 1 set of oral reasons just on halter. Now moving into preparing a horse judging team. A few things to consider before you get started. When should members start attending practice sessions? I would encourage members of any age and experience level to join a team and attend meetings regularly. It's never too early to get started, and it's a great opportunity to gain knowledge about horses in many different ways. Just keep in mind, in order to be eligible for our contest, junior members have to be at least 10 years old by January 1st. How long does it take before you're ready to compete? Being a member of a horse judging team isn't just about the contest, but if you're preparing a team to compete, this could take a considerable amount of time. In my opinion, it will take a minimum of at least 6 months in order to adequately prepare a team for a contest, and sometimes even longer, depending on how often you meet, the experience and age level of your members, and how productive your practice sessions are. Just like anything, you'll get out what you put in. How often should members practice? Again, this has a lot of different variables to consider, but I would begin to organize monthly meetings and then move into meeting every other week. And as the contest gets closer, you could meet weekly or even more if time allows. What can members do at home? It's a great idea, especially in the beginning, to send home different worksheets or assignments. Not that kids are looking for more homework, but this will keep them thinking in between meetings and help them retain the information that they're given during the meetings, and could even cut down on the time that it takes to prepare for a contest. Especially when you start working on reasons, which should be early, team members should frequently be talking through different terms. The more often they do this, the easier it'll be. They should make it a goal to build a mental bank of familiar terms that it's easy for them to remember and is easy for them to say. And finally, this may be the most important, try to make something fun and interactive each time you meet. A lot of this information can be boring and overwhelming for youth, so start with an icebreaker or some team building, maybe something that doesn't have to do with horses or horse judging. Build in some social time and snacks, maybe a field trip to a local farm, talk to the manager or trainer there. It's important for kids to have fun with this experience. So now maybe you've formed a team of interested members. Where should you start? I would suggest maybe first getting to know your members, even if you're already familiar with them. Ask a round of questions or hand out a questionnaire for them to complete. Ask about their horse experience and history, which discipline do they ride, how often do they ride, how old are they, what school grade are they in, what's their favorite subject in school, any hobbies and interests, do they play any sports or musical instruments, are they in any clubs, and what 4-H projects do they carry. And then start with something simple, like the parts of the horse. It's important to correctly identify each part, so when you begin talking and comparing different horses, members can follow along. It's also important when building a set of reasons to accurately choose the correct terminology. Then maybe move into different breeds that they may encounter for our judging contest. Review their different characteristics and traits, and also their ideal conformation and breed suitability to purpose. Each breed will have their own set of registered colors and common markings, and these are great ID points and can add a lot of detail to a set of reasons. So after covering the basic parts and anatomy of the horse, I would suggest moving into halter and conformation. Balance and quality, structural correctness, muscling, way of going, breed and sex character, these are all criteria to be used when evaluating a horse's conformation. And they're listed here in what I would prefer is their order of importance. Balance is the proportionality of the parts of the horse and how they all fit together. When viewed from the side, as pictured here, a well-balanced horse should divide evenly into 3 equal parts. The height of the horse's hip should also be equal to the height of the horse at their withers, and this will create a balanced level top line. Also, the length of the horse's head should be relatively similar to the length of the horse's neck and the length of the horse's shoulder, the length of the horse's back, and the length of the horse's hip. Quality is simply the attractiveness and build of a horse. Structural correctness first starts with understanding the skeletal structure and framework of a horse. Recognizing the ideal and also identifying conformational defects is very important and can add a lot of detail when building a set of reasons. Almost all competitive horse judging team manuals have diagrams that show the ideal and common defects. Muscle can be evaluated in 3 different ways: length, volume, and definition. A longer length of muscle is considered the ideal rather than a short, bunchy muscle pattern. The volume of muscle just needs to be adequate to the frame of the horse. The most muscle doesn't always win the class. Muscle definition is the tone and proper condition of muscle. It's firm rather than flabby. Way of going is evaluated on how a horse tracks, and most times structural correctness or defects will influence a horse and the way that they move. For example, if a horse is pigeon-toed or splay-footed and stands base narrow, they may cross one foot in front of another when they track. And the best way to determine this is to view a horse tracking from in front and from behind. And then you can also see the length of the horse's stride when you watch from a side view. And finally, breed and sex characteristics are how closely a horse exemplifies the ideal standard for that particular breed, and then how feminine or masculine their features may appear. Moving into oral reasons, this is usually the most difficult part of competitive horse judging. It's the most challenging and can also be the most frustrating. However, if you break it down into smaller pieces and understand the structure, format, and terminology that's involved, it can become much easier and even be a lot of fun. It won't get any easier though unless you practice a lot. Weekly, several times a week, even daily when you're getting close to a competition. So what are oral reasons? Oral reasons are an organized presentation or speech given from memory that allows us to explain and defend to an official why we placed the class the way we did. Reasons are comprised of accurate, factual content that is also descriptive, comparative, and uses horseman-like terminology. They are to be given in under 2 minutes time, and again, just from memory. When taking notes, contestants are encouraged to learn how to use shorthand, especially when judging a class and there's a time limit. They may even create their own abbreviations or symbols, and I would encourage them to first write down some identifiers for each horse, and then good and bad qualities for each horse. These notes can then be converted into their reasons. Moving on to the format of reasons. The format is a lot like writing a paper. There's an opening statement, there's a body, and a conclusion. The opening statement begins with announcing how you place a class. You can possibly incorporate stating some of the criteria that you used when making your decision on how you place the class. And then the body consists of a top, middle, and bottom pair explaining why you placed first over second, why you placed second over third, and why you placed third over fourth. Each pair also then consists of grant statements and criticisms. I would encourage team members to start really simple. Just read sets of reasons, listen to example sets of reasons. There's lots of video resources out there, and study different terminology, and begin by just starting with an opening statement and a top pair. And then you can build from there, going back to that opening statement, top pair, add a middle pair. And then before you know it, that bottom pair, and you've got a full set of reasons. In terminology, again, this should be accurate, factual, descriptive, comparative, and horsemanlike. All judging team manuals are great resources for different types of terms, and they usually are categorized by event and topic matter. And finally, the presentation of an oral set of reasons and the delivery of a set of reasons can greatly influence a contestant's score. An ideal set of reasons does not only, contain accurate content, but the presentation and the delivery is confident and well rehearsed. Team members should always practice their reasons out loud, stand square with one foot slightly in front of another, and their feet should be shoulders width apart, and their hands should be behind their back. And they should also maintain eye contact and project their voice, but also be conversational. So again, reasons are an integral part of any horse judging contest and can be very challenging, but just like anything else, they get a lot easier with practice. Moving into the performance classes that team members will see, each contest should list in their rules eligible performance classes in order for teams to prepare. And I would suggest starting with something simple, maybe a familiar rail class like Western Pleasure or Hunter Under Saddle, and then move into some equitation and horsemanship. And then from there, you can go into some more complex performance classes that use a scoring system like reining, trail, and Western riding. So each class has a specific description of its purpose and what to look for when comparing to the ideal. These descriptions can be found in most any rule book and also in judging team manuals. Scoring systems can also be located in different breed association rule books or our 4-H rule book, and also judging team manuals. There's a lot of class-specific videos available that explain everything in detail, and they also show examples of different levels of maneuver scores and different penalties. Some resources that I would encourage you to review during team practices are listed here. Our PA 4-H horse judging contest rules, our PA 4-H horse show rule book, the different breed association rule books and judging manuals. Also, a lot of universities or colleges have judging team manuals, and a lot of these may be free to 4-H members, but also others are just available to purchase. We're also in the process of developing a public box folder that'll have materials available for 4-H volunteers, coaches, and team members who are interested in horse judging. This would be a great resource for a team who's just getting started, and I'd like to thank Meg and Carol, the 4-H educator from Luzerne County, for providing some of these materials and making this folder also available. There will also be a live knowledge contest question and answer session offered on Wednesday, March 27th at 6:30 p.m. in a Zoom meeting room. This is an opportunity for educators, volunteers, coaches, and team members to log in from home or their county extension office and ask any questions that they may have about any one of our 3 contests. In closing, if your county or club currently has a team or you're interested in getting one of these teams started, please contact your 4-H club leader, extension educator, or you can even reach out to me directly or any one of us listed here to learn more about how. It's never too early to begin practicing, and it's a great way to get through the cold winter months. I look forward to releasing another video with more details on judging halter, performance classes, and developing oral reasons. Good luck, and thank you all for watching.